Hi, welcome to Craft Cooking with Larry Steiner. Today, I'm going to show you that you don't have to be Italian to make your own craft pizza. Now, as always, we're going to start from scratch and make ourselves our very own homemade Italian pizza. Now, applying our craft techniques as we do each week, we're going to make our pizza with the most ingenious skills. Now, sometimes you got to be careful when you leave the tools around. You don't want them dropping. Now, that's exactly why I'll set this on the edge at a 45-degree angle to make a square. Now, if this comes off here, we're going to get more angle on this side, and it's not going to come off. Just a simple technique with Larry Steiner. Now, let's get to that pizza. First of all here, we're going to make our crust, we're going to use our finest flour. Now, we're going to mix that pure wheat flour over here with about a cup of water. Now, you want to be careful when you get that measurement down. Get that to just about a cup, exactly, right on the little line there, right on our level. Now, if you're not sure if that water line is level, we're just going to grab our T-square here, and you can measure that off, and look, keep right our little bubble there, and it's definitely level. Now, put our T-square away. Always remember, place your tools in an area where you won't lose them. And the same utensils, the same tips apply to your utensils in the kitchen. Notice, I have my utensils stored away where I know they are. Now, let's get back to that dough. Now, in order for the show, for taping reasons, I have a pre-made homemade crust already made. Let's go over and get that on the shelf. Now, we'll bring that over here to the table here. And then move it over here. Okay, now, you can see, sometimes when we make our homemade crust, we're not going to get a perfect circle now. As you can see here, we've got chips. Now, again, you can see we've got a pretty big, large piece that's come out of there. But notice you've got a 45-degree angle. That's not going to be a problem. Now, we're going to wedge this in, and we're going to crack it in with, we're going to use some putty there to fill it in. Now, I'm just going to reach around and get that putty knife while you keep and look at the imperfections in the pizza crust. You'll notice large crevasses in the middle and large bulbous, unsmooth surfaces. Now, I'll reach and get that putty gun while you look at the crevasses in the pizza. Now, we get our caulking gun here, and we'll work it right in here. Okay, now, we've got that covered up good. We want to let that set in there for about a half hour. So, we'll be back when that does it. Oh, we're back. Now, we're going to go ahead and prepare that tomato sauce. Now, of course, we're going to make homemade tomato sauce fresh from the garden tomatoes. As a matter of fact, I picked these this afternoon. Now, let's bring these over here. We're going to put them in here. Now, a lot of you want to use your mixers. You want to use your mixers, you know, your little easy mixer, your little whisk rooms. But I've got another tip here, straight from the workbench. It's going to work well for these tomatoes. We're going to take our drill with our 3/4 inch bit. Now, we're going to go right in and work on these tomatoes. Okay. Now, get those tomatoes. Shit is all waved up. Now, I know some of you are laughing, but a drill is an excellent way to mix tomatoes. Okay, now, we've got our tomatoes here, but we don't want to quite go in on our pizza crust because, as we've not talked about earlier, we've got imperfections. We've got imperfections on the crust. But before that, I want to preheat the oven and get that going so we can get ready to put this thing in the oven. Now, okay, now we got that set, let's get back to our dough. Now, if we're going to fill in our pizza crust with our dough, we can see we have a somewhat aqueous mixture. So, we want to get that dough nice and flat so we can even it out and get a nice coverage. Now, in order to get that coverage, we're going to take our electric sander. Now, we want about a 0.45 grain on that sandpaper, and we've got that all set up right here. Now we're just going to go in and work on it, working on the edges. But, once more, before we do that, we don't want this thing spinning around with our sander, so we're just going to get about 3/4 inch pinny nails here. We're going to secure that piece of shell down real well. Now, let's get back here. accidents happen every once in a while. Don't let it discourage you. Now, let's get back to standing on that pizza. We got nice and secure here, as you can see. We're not going to get that pizza to move anywhere. Now, we're going to get right in now with our sandpaper. Now, we'll take even, nice strokes. After you get in this pizza, we're going to put those crackers right on down. So, get back here. Okay, now, I'm going to put this in our way, or out of the way, so it's not in the way. Remember, just as it's wise to always keep a clear and safe workbench, it's always nice to keep a clear and safe kitchen table. Now, we've got our pizza crust all made out here, and now we're ready for the sauce. Get all in. Okay. Nothing like the smell of fresh tomatoes. I think I'll take a little dip. I've done an excellent job. Now, in order, you can see here now, we've got it in basic general portion laid out, but... Alright, I'm just moving this out here. Now, usually you might want to use your cement trowel, but, well, Bob's got it out in the backyard right now, doing the patio, so we'll just take our little spoon from our belt here, get it pretty even. We want to leave about at least 3/4 inch crust around the edge. So, just to make sure, we'll get our tape measure, and we'll measure across here. Okay, we've got about a foot. And we got about another foot in the side. Alright, we're all set for the cheese. Now, we got our cheese all grated out over here. Again, this is right from the backyard barn. We got our cheese prepared out here, and as you can see, you always want to go with our cheese first. Now, we've got our 2x3 cheese bits, and we just want to grab a couple handfuls of those. You know, just like you're throwing Epsom salt down in the back patio there when it snows. Keep that on. Or all the old rock salt. The little friction in the little cars. Take a good couple handfuls here. And just, you know, spread it out, you know. And you got this going around here. And your pieces look starting to take shape. Starting to look real good. Now, I don't want, we want a little bit more. Lots of cheese. Now, when you're making your own pizza at home here, you can use your own discretion as to how much cheese you actually want on your pizza. I like to put a good coating on so we don't see too much of that sauce through. We'll just keep adding a little bit more. But while I'm preparing this cheese, I'm going to get to cut this salami up. We can take a break back here with Jim. So, we'll be right back.
How you doing in there, Jim?
Oh.
Sorry about that, Jim. We'll go see how Larry's doing in the other room.
Okay, we're back. Well, I'm sure Jim's getting a lot of work done in the bathroom here, and we'll go back to our pizza. The next step is to slice our pepperoni. Now, we're not going to go over our standard kitchen butcher knife. You can see the blade may appear perfect, but we're going to get a lot of imperfection, and we're not going to get a fast enough cut. It's going to be a lot more arm motion than we really need. So, we're going to grab our 1/8 inch saw bit teeth, and we're going to go right into that pepperoni. Okay, now, we've got our pepperoni all laid out. Let's go in and put it in. Remember, spacing is one of the most important things when laying pepperoni down the pizza. Let's come on and get it. Okay, in order to make sure the spacing is accurate, again, we're going to get our tape measure. Now, you don't want any overlap such as this here. Get that space right out. Now, you can see we've got about 1.5 inch gap there. Now, we're going to try and maintain that throughout the pepperoni. So, I just finished getting that set up here, and we'll get ready to put that piece in the oven. Okay, now we've got the pizza all ready to go in the oven now. And as again you notice, we have a perfect sized pan for a perfect sized pizza. Notice we've got no overlap with the pizza, so therefore we won't have any drippings in the bottom of the pan. Therefore, we won't have a mess to clean up later. So, we just head on back to the oven, get it all set up. As remember, we already have it preheated, so we're all ready to go. Okay, now that we got our pizza in, we can start cleaning up our mess. Okay, well, we'll get a couple nails and nails put away. Continue on with our mess. Okay, well, You know, one of my favorite parts of cleaning is licking up the mess. So, remember, when you have that pizza in the oven, you don't want to leave it in there too long. You don't want that pizza to burn. So, we just continue to clean up our mess here. Well, we let our pizza cook in the oven. Okay, hang on the old cover there. Now, sometimes you can have a little bit of sauce left over too, but it makes a great V8 tomato juice. Now, all you gotta do is rinse it out, put it in the cupboard, we're ready to go. So, let's check up on that pizza. Okay, we'll see that pizza. Go. Well, okay, let's get a little hot in here. Let's get that jacket covered. Pizza's covered up here, and pizza's almost done. I just kind of eat that there and okay. Okay. Oh, we got our pizza already here. I don't know about you, but I like mine a little crispy. Thanks for joining us, this time on Craft Cooking. This has been another edition of Craft Cooking with Larry Steiner. This program has been funded by a grant from WICL-TV, Minneapolis. Hi, I'm Larry Steiner. Welcome to another edition of Craft Cooking. Today, we're going to make our very own grilled cheese sandwich. Now, applying the latest techniques in common craft technology, we're going to apply those to our cooking skills and make an excellent grilled cheese sandwich. Now, let's get to work on that sandwich. Okay. Well, first, we'll start off with wholesome, whole grain, wheat bread. Now, remember, this is freshly baked this morning, and I'll take credit for the baking. So, we'll come over to our bread here, and just had an old bread sack laying around, so we put it in there. So, grab out our bread. Now, remember, when cooking in the safety of your own kitchen, safety obviously is an important factor. So, again, we'll keep all of our tools in their proper respective places, and we'll get to work on our sandwiches. So, let's get out that bread. Okay, start out with our common piece of bread. Now, most often you're going to get a couple pieces of bread that pretty much match up in size. Now, if you're not sure if that one piece is a little bit bigger than the other one, we use our tape measure. So, get a quick diameter measurement, and usually you want to be at least within an eighth of an inch up together, so we get the same sandwich size. So, got almost about a 4-inch width there, and we go to the other one, and got about 4 1/8. Again, we've got that eighth difference, which is all that we need. So, let's get into our next process in our grilled cheese sandwich. Now, we want to butter the bread next time from the outside of the bread. So, we'll take our fresh butter that we brought in from the urn from the barn this morning, and we'll get to work. Now again, most of the time we want to use our cement trowel, but again, I lent it over to my friend Jimmy, and so he's using it in the bathroom as a matter of fact to lay out some caulking. And we'll be checking in with Jimmy a little bit later, but let's get back to that bread. So, we'll scoop up a little bit. You want to get a good hunk now. Just apply your basic cement techniques. So, come on and have a look at this. You want to spread that bread nice and smooth. Anytime you're using a knife, be careful of your fingers. You don't want to get cut. I wouldn't want to bring the safety board come in and cut me out of business here. Now, we've got our bread all set up. I don't think we could have done it any better way. let's get to the next step. Okay, and remember, with our grilled cheese recipes, as of all of our recipes here on Craft Cooking with Larry Steiner, they're all homemade. We don't use cookbooks around here. I know, you get the point. Okay, let's get on to that next step. We've got our pre-made bread slices, all nice and buttered. Now, the next thing is we want to get our pan going back here for some heat. So let's get over and turn this thing up. Now, you never want to use too much heat because you might start some flames, and you never want to have kitchen fires. They're very dangerous. Remember, if you ever do get a kitchen fire, always have that fire extinguisher handy where you can get at it. So let's go to a somewhat medium-low heat so you don't get it too hot. Remember, we want somewhat of a medium-low heat. Okay, it's all set. Okay, when we get that stove warming up, we can get on to our next step here. We'll grab our cheese here. Get our cheese out of our package here. Now, however many slices you want, that really depends on how hungry you are. Now me, I don't eat that much. So, I think I'll just stick to one piece of cheese. So, take it out of our wrapper. Sometimes the cheese gets stuck in the wrapper here. You want to be careful. Hey, how's it going there, Stan? How are things going on the back deck?
Getting her done.
Good. Good to hear.
What you got going here, man? Looks a little loose.
Oh, that's true. Let's take a look at that, Stan. What do you think we can do to fix that up there, Stan?
I think you gotta get a screwdriver on that one, boss.
Now, do you think that we can just go ahead and replace it with another screw, or do we gotta go out and buy a whole new joint there?
I'd give her a tighten first.
Okay, why don't you leave that drill around and get back to work on the deck, and I'll fix it up later.
See you later, boss.
Okay, thanks a lot, Stan. I don't know, still saw my name tag, my name's Larry. But, anyhow, back to our cheese sandwich. Now remember, we don't want to use too much cheese, and again, I'm not real hungry, so I only use one piece. So, we can take a look at the cabinet here. Only one piece of cheese, okay. Okay, get that cheese back on there first. Let me get the screwdriver out of the way. We don't want to have it in our way. We got to know where it is. So, we'll just set it down somewhere. Now, back to that cheese on there. As we talked earlier, I think, I'm not too hungry. I think we just have one piece of cheese for now. But, well, maybe just one more. Okay, well, maybe another. I'm not really that hungry, but we'll just put on another half of cheese. Okay, let's get our pan out of the stove. Down here. That is a little loose. I think we'll have to fix that in just a second here. But first, let's get to our pans. Okay, we'll get down to our pans here. Now notice how we've got a nice, organized shelf space, just like we would want on the workbench, with our screwdrivers, hammers, and so forth. Now, keeping in mind the size of the bread, we want to get a pan that's going to fit that sandwich just right. Now, of course, we're only making one sandwich. So, you're going to want to choose a pan just about right. Now, if you're not sure, we'll get out our tape measure again. Okay. We got a 10-inch diameter on the one on the left here. We've only got about an 8 3/4 inch on the right. Now, remembering that our bread was about 6 inches across, we'll go for the 8-incher. So, get that pan, just set it up here. And while we're down here, let's get to work on that cabinet that Stan mentioned earlier. So, sit down and see what to do. Okay, and we can notice how loose this is here. Now, remember, when working around a hot stove, always be careful. Now, what did I do with that screwdriver? Somewhere up here. I think we'll be getting that cabinet there later. Let's get back to that cheese sandwich. Okay, well, in the meantime here, well, if you remember last time, Jim was off in the bathroom getting some good work done. He should be about done right now. So, let's go check in and see how he's doing.
Hey, Jim. Jim, it's Stan, man. You still got the squirts?
Hey, close the door! Hey, close that door! Close that door! Well, I hope Jim's doing good in the bathroom there. We got the hand a little bit better in here. You know, in all the years I've known Jim, he's never been a man to sit down on the job. Well, get back to this. Got it all set up there. We'll put it in our pan. We're ready to go. Now, you're always going to want to monitor that sandwich while you're cooking it, because you don't want to overdo it too much. Now, I like mine nice, lightly toasted, golden brown. Now, remember here, when you're cleaning up here, as I clean it, I'll remember you. I'll stress this point. Always monitor your food while it's cooking. So, just get back to cleaning up this up here, so that sandwich is cooking behind me. Get back and turn that sandwich. A little bit of a cough this morning. Looks good. Well, there, as you see it, a nice, crispy, golden brown, well, just the way I like it, golden cheese sandwich there. So, well, that's going to end it for this edition of Craft Cooking with Larry Steiner. I'll see you right here next time. This has been another edition of Craft Cooking with Larry Steiner.